I think in general, Gatton has taught me to dream bigger in a sense. I think had I stayed at my home high school, it would have been sort of an understood thing that I was going to stay in Kentucky and, stay close to my family, and I wouldn't really think about what else there is outside of Kentucky. I think being at Gatton has given me sort of a broader worldview, and so now I'm thinking about pursuing opportunities in, California and North Carolina and just places that are hours away from here, miles away, and I'm not worried about it. I feel like that's a challenge I'm willing to take on.
So going into my freshman year, I go up to my guidance counselor and I'm like, hey, in order to apply for the Gatton Academy, I need Algebra 2 and Geometry by the end of my sophomore year. She looks at me, even though I have really good grades and everything, she's like, nope, not possible. There's no way you could take 2 math classes in 1 year. At that point, I knew I needed to get out and reach out where I could take those classes. So my parents transferred me to a high school about an hour away from my house, and so I could take those classes. So every morning at 5 a.m. I would get up and drive over there. Well, that was a struggle, but well worth it.
My school life at my home high school wasn't as rigorous at all as it was at Gatton because at my home high school we didn't have real AP classes and we didn't have anything from Calculus 2 on as far as math goes, and they kind of just want to push you along. And at my school we had a lot of online classes at the time I was there. So I took online language classes and online AP classes and online dual credit classes, but I know that as soon as I left, those classes were gone.
When I was in my home high school, I originally thought that I wanted to be a neurosurgeon, and so that was what I had in mind. And when I came to Gatton, I was focused on biology courses and that kind of stuff because I was just determined, being a doctor is the classic smart person career, So I just thought that's what I had to do, and then I got here and realized, 1, I don't like biology, and 2, I really loved computer science. I was putting more time into that class than I had to. I mean, I was making easy 98s and 100s on exams and stuff, but I still wanted to put time into it. And so it was really weird for me to realize that I don't want to be a neurosurgeon, but it was also really great to be in a place where I could get support for the thing that I did want to do. So as soon as I told Derek I want to do computer science, he started handing me internships and research opportunities, that kind of stuff to pursue this new thing.
Gatton helped me determine where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And on the where I wanted to go part, you come into Gatton and they start talking about college. You get very intimidated because there are 4,000 some colleges in the United States. And I finally decided on Rice University. So I applied in the fall, and thanks to, I think, the opportunities that I've been able to do since being at Gatton, I was accepted. And I think that's a big deal in itself, being accepted to a prestigious university, but I don't think I would have gotten there without coming to the academy.
I spent last summer, summer of 2014, being a full-time research intern with the computer science department for 8 weeks, and my teammates and I, we created a Western Kentucky University app for Google Glass.
Both the summer after my senior year and the summer of my junior year at Gatton, I went to China.
Being able to visit Italy, England, and Costa Rica within 2 years and under 17 was extremely cool and rare for my community.
It's not just the schoolwork itself, it's also the community. It's a lot different because at my old school, a lot of students chose not to go to college, and so they didn't really care how math applied to real life or math past, basic algebra, because they didn't think they would need it. But whenever I got to Gatton, everybody was so passionate about learning.
Being around other people that want to be unique makes you want to be unique.
One day, it was a Friday night, And my friends Dana and Kane and I, we were studying for a trig test the following Wednesday, I think. And like I said, Friday, weekend, right? No one wants to do this kind of stuff. And we spent like 4 hours over in FAC studying like trigonometry, and it was awesome. We had an awesome time. That's like, I don't know, I could never imagine doing that kind of thing when I was at home.
Here, you go to class for an hour or two, you get your materials, you come back, and if what your professor was just talking about really interested you, you can now talk about that with your friends immediately after. Then 30 minutes later, you may end up with this wild idea on the board that relates to class that you never could have done in regular high school because, well, like I said, you're kind of bound to the classroom, and here you're not.
Gatton has really impacted me financially because when I came to Gatton, they funded everything. So I thought that was fantastic because growing up, I never really had opportunities to join summer programs or to go to summer camps because I couldn't afford them. And so even though some weekends, for closed weekends at Gatton where everybody has to go home, it was really hard for my parents to afford the transportation, but they thought it was worth it because even though they had to pay for that, that was all they had to pay for. And if we had to pay for anything else, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to come to Gatton and grow socially and academically and become the person that I am today.
Also, in my time at Gatton, I've become a lot more confident. I've sort of become more of an extroverted person. Like I said, when I was at home, I spent a lot of time by myself doing, like studying, that kind of thing. And here, it's become a community experience, and I've become a person who likes to purposely leave my room and go check on everybody else and see how they're doing.
Before Gatton, I was kind of socially awkward. I didn't have that many friends because I was always smarter than everybody in my class, and so I feel like none of the other students could relate to me very well, and they didn't want to relate to me, but so I kind of withdrew into myself. But coming to Gatton, I found so many people whose interests were the same as mine and who were so excited about learning and about helping people and about just accepting each other. And it gave me like the confidence I need to be able to talk to other people and even talk to people I don't know, which I was always really shy about before, and that is so important coming to college.
The interest that really sparked for me was biology. Prior to coming to the Gatton Academy, I'll be honest, I was very scared of biology. I don't know why. I guess I had a really poor experience in high school. So for me, I took my first biology course the first semester, and it was a course in metabolism and genetics, and I just fell in love with it. And so I decided to minor in that. Staying at WKU, the Gatton Academy really helped me make a smooth transition into the college life and academics and everything associated with college because I already knew the campus. I knew I'd established a good relationship with many of the faculty there that I was going to be working with and taking courses with. And so, I pretty much hit the ground running.
At my home high school, the opportunities were quite limited. There were only so many classes that you could select from. So you're expected to take this math class this year and then the next math class and so forth. And so the standard of greatness, in a sense, was you do perfect in those classes. There wasn't much room to explore or do unexpected things. Whereas at the academy, you can select from many more classes, and the opportunities are much greater. There isn't the expectation in the same sense to do perfect in every class, but to find something that you really enjoy and are really passionate about and to explore that to the best you can. And outside of all of that, the underlying idea that community service and giving back to the community instilled greatly in me through the academy because there was always this motivation that you were given this wonderful opportunity free of cost and that we should find some way to give it back. So I started a tutoring program, tutoring elementary school students, and here at Williams I'm now involved with another tutoring program.